Hello everyone, Dylan from Yugioh Everything here, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Some incredibly exciting news came out yesterday about a new Yu-Gi-Oh manga that we are going to go over today. Now, it's a very brief article that was, I believe, posted in this month's V-Jump, March V-Jump, but man, oh man, does it have an incredible amount of potential, and I'm going to go over that with you guys right now. I think this is something that a lot of people are probably going to get very excited about, whether you love the anime, whether you love the card game, or whether you love a mixture of both, because this kind of seems like a best of both world situation. It's not going to be an anime, but it is going to be a story just via a manga form about characters or a character from the OCG. So without further ado, I will show you the page. We have this silhouetted girl character, which is a dual monster from the card game. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably recognize her right off the bat. The translator on YGO Organization, Neo Arcadia, goes on to say, I'm not sure if this is one theme or many themes, but the only dialogue we have from this panel is that tales will be spun about the story of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Official card game card. That can also be read as tales will be spun about the story of Yu-Gi-Oh! Official card game cards. So it could be plural, or it could just be one in-depth story about this character. This new manga will start next month. If you don't know this character, it is a character from the Sky Striker archetype. It is Sky Striker Raye. You can see a picture of her right here, and I don't think anyone will be arguing that that is who this silhouetted character is. So this is, in my opinion, incredibly cool. I believe this manga is replacing OCG Structures, if I'm not mistaken. I think OCG Structures is coming to an end, but we are going to get a story about the Sky Striker lore, I would imagine, and I believe we are going to get multiple different stories about multiple different archetypes, which is something that I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Players and Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans have wanted for a very long time. Whenever a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime is about to start, obviously that's my my area of love and my area of expertise, I would say. I always get comments from people saying, can we have an anime that is focused on the card game lore, the lore that we already have in the card game? And I'm always like, yeah, I think that would be really cool. I don't know how you would incorporate dueling and promoting the game into that. I'm not sure how this manga is going to do it, but it seems like this manga is finally going to tackle something that I think a lot of fans have wanted to see for a very long time. Now, is Sky Striker Raye going to be dueling in this manga? Is she going to be used by a different character and featured in duels? I don't really know. Now, I think what they might do in this manga is they might say, all right, we're not going to use Yu-Gi-Oh! The card game to promote this manga. Instead, this is going to be a purely lore-based manga. That's what I would love to see. If this manga didn't really have dueling in it, I would be completely fine with that if it was going to be giving personalities and backstories and lore details to the archetypes that we're already familiar with and to the characters in these archetypes that we already know and love. Now, interestingly enough, Sky Striker does have a lore story that was posted in Master Guide 6, and I will just read very quickly the brief of that story. The story of a girl who races across the battlefield wishes for the peace and safety of her homeland. Raye, at first glance, seems to be a perfectly ordinary girl, but thanks to the combination of a God-given talent and special training, she can unleash the power of Sky Striker. In addition, she can equip and control Sky Striker Mecha, and by dispatching through special gates, she can access various Sky Striker Ace modes, depending on the situation, and each mode can use a mysterious maneuver, each powerful enough to change the tide of battle. And there is a lot of, 1-2 sentence lore for a lot of these cards. Eventually, she meets Sky Striker Ace Rose, which ends up being a character actually developed by the enemy nation. So that's kind of interesting. Now, are we going to see this lore from Master Guide 6 play out in the manga over a few chapters? I think that would be incredible. I would love to see that. Or are we going to get a separate story that doesn't have anything to do with the Master Guide lore? The really cool thing about this manga is we're going to finally see I think a bunch of different archetypes. Now, this isn't confirmed because it could just end up being a Raye is the main protagonist and she's the character throughout the entire manga. But I really think we're going to get multiple themes here. And so I've always wanted to see Shaddolls and that lore looked at in an anime form, or maybe not the lore, but Shaddolls just to appear in the anime. There's now a chance that Shaddolls will appear in the manga. And maybe they'll get their own lore page. And I think that's super cool. And I think everyone has an archetype that they know and love that hasn't appeared in one of the 7 Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime that now has a chance to be fully focused and fleshed out in manga form. So I think it is super, super cool. And I think it's going to be a really fun read for a lot of people, whether you're a fan of the traditional anime and manga, or whether you're a fan of the card game. Another interesting note is this is another example of Konami producing a Yu-Gi-Oh! Related product that is not focused or related to the anime. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, which has been a wildly successful video game that released just over a month ago, is the first video game that I can think of that does not have any relation to anime characters or anything anime related. It does have a story mode, but again, that's focusing more on the lore of monsters and the lore of archetypes. And this manga announcement is kind of interesting because it seems like 2022 is going to be the year of promoting the game through the existing archetypes and their lore rather than through an animated series, which now we have not had since Vrains in regards to the main game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And not promoting it through your typical means of dueling. So they've kind of changed their strategy a little bit over the last year or two. You know, not having an anime, and Go Rush, which airs also next month, is going to be focused on Rush Duels again. Not having an anime promote the main format. And now we have a video game that has nothing to do with the anime or any of the series or any of the shows. And now we have a manga that furthermore is going to follow that suit and do a deep dive into the archetypes rather than have characters use the archetypes. So very interesting kind of change up in the strategy here from Konami, but I am all for it and I'm very excited to see what this manga brings. But guys, let me know your thoughts on this new Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga. Let me know if you have some archetypes and some lore that you would like to see expanded on. Do you think we are going to see the Master Guide lore for Sky Striker and potentially other archetypes, or do you think we are going to get our own unique story? Very excited to hear from you all down below. Thank you all so much for watching. A special thank you to my Platinum tier patrons, Panther J, Blue Maiden 28, Jarrett Buller, Lee Saxophone Beast, and Frost Eagle, and to my Diamond tier patrons, Jesse Wood, Latrell Smith, and Erick Avila, and to my Egyptian God tier patrons, Ccapacappuuu and Syn Cloud. Thank you so much to everyone who supports me over on Patreon or who is a YouTube channel member. You guys help me out and you help out the channel so much. And be sure to check out my Patreon for some channel exclusive perks. Thank you guys so much for watching. I stream on Twitch, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram. Links for all those will be in the description. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.